How's it going, everyone? My name is Christopher, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be reacting to a dev diary, number 1, which is the cars for NASCAR 21 Ignition. Now, if you guys haven't noticed, or not noticed, but if you guys don't know, I did a reaction video to this. I'll leave a link in the description below. I'll probably have have it at the timestamp at the end of the video, I believe that's what it's called. Or a video card that you can click on it and watch the reaction to it. But yeah, so this is NASCAR 21 Ignition. I have a little bit of suspicion about this game. I'm just really hoping it's not like NASCAR Heat 5 in any way, shape, or form. I just want it to be a good, fun, new NASCAR game that isn't like a carbon copy of like the Heat games or a lackluster version of a previously good NASCAR game that, for whatever reason, turned out to be absolutely horrible. So I have this muted because it has copyrighted music in it, which is the What We Came to Do. I forgot what from artist, but I don't feel like getting another copyright strike on this video. So yeah, so we're gonna react to what this is all about because I have heard nothing. I've never, not heard, but I haven't seen anything from this video. I don't know what is new. I don't know what's changed. I don't know what hasn't changed. We're going to watch it for ourselves, so I'm going to click play. Obviously, there's no music. I think I'm at a 1080p. Yes, I am. Okay, cool. So, once this is all done, we'll unmute it. So, NASCAR 21 Ignition. Let's see what we got. The cars. This should be interesting. Oh.
Scenes look of NASCAR 21 Ignition. This will be a 3-episode series giving you, the fans, a sneak peek at the process of building this game from the ground up. Here at Motorsports Games, we want to create the most authentic racing experiences for our players to enjoy. Our teams across the globe are always striving to make in-game cars drive as realistic as possible, and in NASCAR 21 Ignition, we are making that a reality. Moving to the Unreal Engine gave both the development and art teams the power to create better games, making it the best fit for Motorsport Games going forward.
It definitely looks like that they've already put a boatload of fucking time into this game rather than NASCAR Heat 5 where they didn't do jack shit with it, but
today,
that's cool.
We're going to take a look at the cars in NASCAR 21 Ignition and how the developers took the real-life vehicles you see on the track and converted them into a digital form. While previous NASCAR games shared DNA with the likes of NASCAR Thunder titles from back in the mid-2000s,
I'm sorry, what? Previous NASCAR games shared the same... What did he say? Hold on, let's rewind it. Let's rewind it a little bit.
With the likes of NASCAR Thunder titles from back digital form. While previous NASCAR games shared DNA with the likes of NASCAR Thunder titles from back.
Please don't tell me he's referring to the NASCAR Heat series, because if he's referring it to that, you obviously did not play the NASCAR Heat games and the NASCAR Thunder games separately. NASCAR Thunder games and the Heat games are far more different. Now, if we're talking like NASCAR 05, 06, 07, 08, 09, 100% agree with you. Probably like none of the Unitex games, maybe some of the DNA, but NASCAR Heat 5, absolutely not.
Back in the mid-2000s, we know the fans have wanted the most realist experience possible, so NASCAR 21 Ignition was built from the ground up to make it feel fresh and authentic, representing the real-life sport in a video game in the most faithful way. And we made it feel real, the way the cars accelerate and brake, running tight or loose, and how the dynamics of the car feel different when running up front or going 3 wide in the mid-pack at each track. However, this process of making things feel right wasn't always easy, as real-life NASCAR teams don't make all their setup information public. They have their secrets on how they make their cars the fastest on the grid, and each one is hand-built. So we worked directly with NASCAR to gather detailed aero, drivetrain, suspension, and setup information to make NASCAR 21 Ignition the most authentic driving experience in the market.
The thing is, like, I'm loving how I just want to point this out. I'm loving how they're like showing how they make this shit. Like, 704 never did this shit, and it pisses me off that they never did it. But the fact that Motorsports Games is actually showing this off, and I'm actually glad that Motorsports Games is making this game and not 704 because they really dropped the fucking ball with E5. It's only right that a different company is handed this. So thank you, Motorsports Games, for this. We really appreciate it. And I think it's going to be interesting to drive like almost a realistic car because we're kind of used to like every NASCAR game, we're all kind of used to like the arcadey style of NASCAR games. We don't really get like a real simulation or anything. We get more of an arcadey goofball type racing experience essentially. It's not really something that anybody thought could change. And I know for a fact in the Heat games you could actually change it from like arcade to simulation, but it doesn't have the same effect. I'll just say that much. It doesn't have the same effect when you're just changing a setting. Because, at least in my opinion, they both felt the same in the Heat games. Nothing changed.
Player, you'll experience the different aero packages on the car depending on which track you're at, so you'll see and feel a difference between your cars on the 1.5 miles, short tracks, and even treaded tires on the dirt at Bristol.
Good. That's actually really, really good. I'm actually kind of excited to see that. I'm excited to see what they can do now.
We built this game with ultimate realism in mind. For many players, that's an exciting prospect, but we
Yeah.
don't want to push those away who want an experience that's as simple as picking up a controller and burning rubber. NASCAR 21 Ignition introduces an assist mode called Novice, which lets you play with a single button, almost like slot car racing, and the game takes care of the rest. If you played NASCAR Heat 5, it's like the rookie mode, and with full control over what driving assist you have switched on. If you're brand new to racing and want a helping hand, or you're a veteran that's ready to dive into the deep end, NASCAR 21 Ignition will be ready and waiting for you. That's it for this episode. Be sure to keep an eye out for our next, where we'll talk about all the detail and process of getting all the tracks in the game. See you next time.
All right. I'm actually excited for it. Let me turn this down actually just a tiny little bit. Okay, yeah, that actually wasn't that bad of a video. I'm actually glad that they went into the detail about it and they basically, oh, that's a Raw Gator video. Shout out to him, I guess. But
Our teams across the globe are all
I think it's cool that they're trying to make this game as realistic as it possibly can be. Now, there was some gameplay. It was towards the end here somewhere, right here. This is at Nashville. I'm liking the thing that I like is this at the top. I'm actually happy that this isn't like a box or anything. It's just kind of there, but it's not like on the left side of the screen anymore. It's actually like on the right side, and it seems like they've changed the speedometer. It looks like the camera angle for the car looks different. The sound, I can't really. I wish I could, hear the sound a lot more better. But the sound of the cars sound really goddamn cool. Now, obviously, this is probably going to be as realistic. They've said it's going to be. They're going to try to make it as realistic as it could be. But yeah, it seems like they're actually taking the time to like add like little details and whatnot, because like you kind of have like a wind effect. I believe that's what it is right here. Hold on. Yeah. It's like you have a little bit of a wind effect. It's like it's pushing you up against the wall a little bit. Oh, wrong thing. It's like pushing you up against the wall and whatnot, and it's like giving you wind feedback or whatever the hell it's called. At least for this bit. But yeah, the camera is actually not too bad. Obviously they got the racing line. I think this is like practice, something like that. But I mean, we've seen like a good amount of these tracks, and then they show this again, which is the next lap, but it's only for like a little bit amount of time. Now, this actually looks pretty goddamn cool because I like the reflection of the sunlight that's over here that reflects off these cars and everything like that. I think the Heat games did the same thing, but it didn't do it like in the same way like it's doing it right here, where it like reflects off the car and everything, and it when you get closer and everything, like you like get underneath the sun essentially, if that makes sense. But I mean, I think this actually looks pretty cool. This Infineon racing bit right here towards the end of the video, I'm actually liking it. I like all the detail that they put into it and whatnot. I'm liking how they're taking the time to put the detail in. Now, that was actually pretty interesting how Chase Elliott got sideways here. I think it's because it just seems like it just got loose and then just went boop right up into the wall. But Yeah, I had some optimism for this game. I'm gonna stay optimistic for as long as I can. But another thing I want to point out is this, the adjust your settings bit. Now, this is actually okay. This actually answers my question from earlier. There's actually a wind direction up here on the top. You can't really see it because of this stuff. But then there's also wind speed and ambient temp up here. Then you got some other things like overview lap data, car setup, which is this, options, and then you got a few other things over here to the left. And then it looks like you have different like screens or whatnot, for whichever ones you want to see. So it's actually really cool that now like wind is actually going to play a part in the racing essentially. Because if the wind is like my guess is if the wind's like very very bad, it'll affect you a lot more depending on how your setup is against it. But if it's like lower and everything like that, it's not going to be as bad as you think. But and they kind of showed it a little bit. It's like whenever they move the slider on the thing, it like moves the car a little bit, and it showed you like um yeah, if you picked loose, you like drift into the corner. If you whoops, sorry. If you well, let's see. So they actually like I'm gonna try to go frame by frame here. But that's loose. You're not making the damn corner at all. And then you got in between stable and loose, which is you're still gonna get loose into the corner, but not a whole lot. And then that's Eddie Hamlin. And then you got stable, but then you got this where it's tight. And it actually tells you like, oh, you're gonna go straight into the wall and everything. And I believe if I go one more over, it'll show the next one. Yeah. If you go full tight, you're going straight into the wall, even if you're turning left, which is not good. I like that they did that. I like the little details and everything that they put into it. Now, what kind of worries me is that you're not going to be able to put in your own setup. It just seems like this is going to be the slider. Maybe they're going to add in another thing, like maybe down here somewhere, of like customize your own setup, and depending on like what you put in, it'll still show you if you get like this, if you get this loose, or you get, hold on, if you get this loose, that tight, or that tight, that kind of thing. I feel like they're missing a few things. That's not a few things, but the car setup thing, they're definitely missing. Now, obviously, this all looks really damn cool. I like it at all. I like it all and everything like that. Again, the 3D graphics look not graphics, but the 3D design of it look pretty cool. The tracks, obviously, they look sexy as ever. Obviously, again, they're showing what they do to it. I think that's like the pit crew animation actually, right here, I believe. No, that's the Kyle Larson one thing. Go back a little bit more. Yeah, they showed it. Yeah, this is a little pit animation. No crew, but yeah, they show like the pit animation where like the left side of the car goes up a little bit. You can there's the right, and then that's the left. Excuse me, and then you got the right. Yeah, right, the left. Excuse me, then right. I think that's actually pretty cool. No pit crews yet, but hey, that's a neat little detail. There's Kyle Larson's car as ever, most dominant guy in the fucking sport at the moment. But I like this too. The sunlight and everything. The backdrop of Daytona. The Sargento, I think that's how you pronounce it, cheese. Like that bit. But yeah. So that is the NASCAR 21 Ignition trailer. Or not trailer, but the dev diary for the NASCAR 21 Ignition. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. The only problem, not the problem, but the only thing that I believe that I'm a little bit skeptical about is how they don't have like a separate menu. Go right here. Is how they don't have like a separate menu for like your custom setup. That's the one thing that I think like if they don't add in, that's gonna be like a key feature that no one's really gonna like how they didn't put it in. Because like yeah, you can have this you can have this up here and it'll still set the tone, I guess you can say, for what your car will do. But if you don't have something but if you don't have like a certain setting like at the bottom here for people to customize their own setup, it's gonna be strange if you think about it, because a lot of people nowadays use custom setups, even for the Heat games. And the reason why is because in the Heat games, they were so god-awful that you had to use setups. Even in career mode, you had to use setups. And it's because the track, like some of the tracks were broken, like Phoenix, it was broken. That's why people use custom setups. And I feel like if they're not going to add in custom setups, not a lot of people are going to be happy about it. And I'm going to feel for that because I technically use custom setups quite a bit. But if every track is balanced and if this is how it's going to be, then I'm fine with this. If some of the tracks are broken and they don't have this custom setup thing like the bottom here, I'm going to be really upset. But it's just a little detail or a little thing that I, nitpick quite a bit. Here in New Hampshire looking, pretty nice and everything. I don't think anything else really, like, annoys me or kind of, like, ticks me off a little bit. I think there's one, like, right... I don't think this is the one. I think it's just the way the car moves and everything might be a little bit, different to get the tone to or something like that. But, I feel like... Yes, this is Nashville. That's what this was. This is Nashville. This is going to be really fun racing in Nashville. Now, you can barely see it down here. We have BC, TC, and SC. I don't know what the hell that is, but it's below the gearing, but that's the gear that you're in. So what the hell are these other three? I think this might be assist or something down at the bottom. I'm not 100% sure, but you got like temperature for the OT and WT, so that's actually pretty nifty. Got the RPM. They said down there, but yeah. And yeah, I mean, all the cars look beautiful. Let me just say that right now. All of them look gorgeous. Even the Denny Hamlin one here at Darlington. Hold on. Bam. That looks sexy as shit. That looks beautiful. This, I'm not a huge fan of Denny Hamlin, but this car at Darlington looks beautiful. Looks fucking gorgeous. And I like that. I like how, they like even the little glare that comes off from the sun is, really fucking cool. The lights look pretty cool as well. This is just a sexy fucking image. That's just what this is. This is just a sexy fucking image. And I love it. I love this shit. I love sexy images. So, of cars. Let's just put it like that. I love sexy images of cars, which is this Denny Hamlin one. This is fucking sick. I love this. Now, I don't think any other car kind of does like the same thing. I think the Harvick one did it a little bit. The Harvick one kind of did it a little bit, but it's at the Brickyard. The Brickyard's kind of ugh. So, yeah. Got the Kyle Larson one here at Sonoma. So, not really the big pick right there. But this Denny Hamlin one really caught my eye because of how fucking gorgeous it is. And then, they show the Daytona road course. Yeah, they showed the Daytona. This is the Daytona road course because you have the little left turn right here before turn 1, which is all the way down here. So you have that. And it looks, I think this is the other thing I wanted to see. Yeah, Super Speedway Racing. Super Speedway Racing is going to be pretty interesting because, like, it sucks in real life, but in the game you can make it so much fucking fun. I just hope there's fun in the game too. Keselowski shot this from the Glen. The Glen looks pretty sick as well. This tire looks beautiful. It's a Goodyear Eagle, but it's still pretty beautiful. So, yeah, and I want to find the Denny Hamlin image again, or screenshot. There it is. No, that's Infineon still. Infineon Sonoma. There it is. There we go. So, I don't know what else they're going to talk about in the other two Dev Diaries. I think he said it, and I just kind of skimmed over it. I know that I definitely did hear that they're going to have 2 other Dev Diaries about this game, so that's going to be pretty interesting. I'll make videos on those and see what NASCAR 21 is going to be in, I think, like 2 months, I think. But, yeah. So that's going to do it for me today, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you all enjoyed the video. If you guys did enjoy, leave a like, subscribe, down below for more. This was me reacting to the NASCAR 21 Ignition Dev Diary and giving my thoughts and opinions on it, showing you guys what I don't like, telling you guys what I don't like, and that sort of stuff. I'll try to get more videos out, but I've had such a busy schedule that hopefully I'll be able to do it. But at the moment, I got a pretty tight schedule, but I'll still try. But thank you guys so much. My name is Chris from Monster today. Peace out, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care, everyone, and goodbye.